All right. There we go. Let me let me fix something. I'm going to turn on. I forgot that I should probably join Dweeb Club. There we go. Everything seems to be kind of running fine. I just want to go to Task Manager real quick. And okay. There we go. So, how's it going? You know, I'm gonna set something up real quick. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. Girly pop. I was wondering where it was. Yeah, because today we might have a special guest. Maybe. Not no confirm yet, but I invited the Mem Show voice actor to possibly join us if she's free. And actually, I'll just add everyone if they want to join. All right. Down there in Ohio. Okay. So, when I set this up, I should probably Abridged. Oh, it still pains me to this day. What? What does that even mean, Ivy? All right. Oh, that's my stream. We don't play more. All right. So we're gonna be reacting. So I'm gonna start recording. All right. Here we go. with the next batch of Oshinoko abridged episodes. Right off the bat, I do have to say that like there the reason why, because originally before copyright and all that other bullshit, I was already planning to kind of split up all the episodes originally, and I talked about it with Nico for a bit on what I should do with Oshinoko Abridged. And originally we were going to try to like, do multiple parts and then combine them all together, but we saw what happened with the last Abridged, so kind of a no-go. And even if I wanted to combine them all together, it wouldn't work for a specific reason. Actually, I don't know. I would have to see, but it seems like a bit too inconvenient. Now, the reason I was gonna split them up was because between this take and the previous take on the Oshinoko Abridged, where Aqua is kind of saying like all that stuff, concluding the episode, I could not think of a single transition between the last episode and this episode. So that's when I ultimately came to the decision I wanted to start splitting up the Abridged because originally, all this wasn't really going to work. So this was going to be episode 2 of Oshinoko Abridged, but then it didn't work out and ended up being episode 5, a bit of a difference, but yeah. This time, this is why copyright checks are important. My advice to people who may upload in the future is that make sure when you're doing a copyright check, you are doing it as soon as you possibly can. Because specifically, Oshinoko Abridged Part 2, or Episode 1, I guess, it originally came out on whatever day it came out, and then it got copyrighted a week and a day later, right? So with this specific episode, I made sure to do it as soon as I possibly could to possibly avoid copyright, leading to the upload day of, hold on, let me show. Oops, misspelled studio. So for example, I originally uploaded this March 2nd right here. I know because I did it twice. Actually, no, March 1st. I did it March 1st. And this premiered on March 11th. I made sure to give it enough time to let me know if there was any restrictions, because when this got like restricted, it happened like a couple days following this, which was February 8th, and then a week and a half later it got copyrighted, which is why episode 6 is technically scheduled, because I'm actually probably going to leave it on unlisted for now, just to give it some time. But yeah, actually no, I'll just leave it as scheduled. Yeah, so basically that's how you can kind of check with like copyright, give it like a week. If it's all good to go, then yeah, that's why planning far in advance is such an important thing, because you don't want what happened to me to happen to you, essentially. Yeah. Fun fact, this whole scene with Kana was actually the first scene that was ever done for the Abridged by Nico. Yeah, I had to add this in at the last second. Cause like I was realizing like the more I edited this, there was not a lot on screen, and I did not want to get copyrighted. Another thing that you guys could notice is possibly throughout like this episode to the end is that there's a lot more zoom-ins. Oh, fuck. There is no volume. Whoops. Let me do filters, property. That's gay. Oh my fucking god, I keep on selecting the wrong thing. Properties.
I'm glad you decided to join us too.
Nah, I did my own thing.
You what?
I only
There we
applied
go.
to this school so I could watch over this dumbass.
My brother is a little obsessed.
That's just creepy.
Later, I have to go do the director's child labor.
I had a wife that would fold my laundry.
I'm going too. So, Aqua, got a project where I play the female lead in coming up. If you want, I can get you in.
So the lip syncs aren't as accurate because oh, that's an interesting discovery to have on but yeah, I had to basically re-edit some of these. I forgot why, honestly. I think it was because there was like the certain.
I'm good.
He's good?
What is this project anyways?
It's called Sweet Day. And guess what, Aqua? Producer.
Music copywriting's got a sweet spot for me.
So recommending someone will be no biggie.
I'm in.
Oh, he's in.
Must have come okay. I found his name in the contacts of Ai's phone, the one she used before she was pregnant. And if there's even a small chance he's my dad, then he owes me 16 years worth of child support.
That kinda Rima's
I
got
just realized that said the state of
Then he owes
Alabama.
me 16 years
Fuck, I didn't look at this image.
worth of child support.
that kinda Rima's got a lot of talent. Unfortunately, she's just here for her name. The bitch ain't been relevant since like 10 years ago. She should.
I want to give a shout out to Travis because for the final part of the abridged, I had to contact him to get some lines done in like a couple days ago, and truly came in clutch. I will not lie. He came in clutch with those lines. So Travis, if you're seeing this, you're goated. Thank you.
Shouldn't be so picky about acting. It's promo for the manga. Who cares? These kids are acting on. A paycheck is a paycheck, baby.
I guess that's just the way it works in this shitty industry. Can't say I blame him. I'd choose a dancing AI dog over Kana any day. But
Oh, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there was a lot of change between this and the original script. So, for context, right? I was always casted as Aqua, right? This wasn't like, you know, something where I gave myself the lead role because I'm running this. No. This was given to me by Nico, and I did earn it myself. I'll probably save all the voice acting stuff for after the abridge, like after we get to the next part of the abridge, because it is a lot. Hold up. I'm going to change this so that it only captures the I do not want you guys seeing all the times I go on Discord and reveal like possible information. Oh my fucking god. Right here. Okay, yeah. Because I need to get the original script. I'm trying to like find out this. I'm realizing that I'm revealing a lot more than I should. Hold up. I'm gonna turn off this stuff real quick till I find the actual doc itself. Where is the Oshinoko Abridged? No, this is still mine. Nico. Jesus, I am so out of it, bro. Thanks, Ivy. I appreciate you keeping watch. Oh my gosh, I wish there was a way to just view our oldest messages. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. I found it. I had to like go through the depths of mine and Nico's messages to see it, but you know, I got it. But yeah, for context, I was casted as the role of Aqua. And I was one day just kind of scrolling through the script, and I noticed that there was a lot of opportunity for jokes, you know? So, for example, later I have to go to the director. Oh wait, am I even recording? No, I'm not. Yeah. So, for example, this line right here, he owes me 16 years worth of child support. That line itself was not in the original script. I wanted to add more humor to Aqua's lines because I noticed that a lot of the dialogue he had was like very like normal, or there was moments in time where there was a lot of explaining going on, but you know, there was opportunity for other jokes. And so I would add lines here and there, like this one where it was like 16 years worth of child support. And this was the original line. It was, I guess that's just the way it works in this shitty industry. You're not recognized for your talents. You're recognized for how much money you can bring to the producers. And so I changed it to, you know, I can't blame him. I'd choose a dancing AI dog over Kana every day. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like a lot of my jokes make sense, but it's one of like those things where it's like, okay, I feel like there's an opportunity for a joke here rather than just explaining. I wanted to give Aqua, like, basically make him like a satirical version of himself, you know? Obviously, he's like someone who is scheming a lot, and he's kind of like a hard ass and like insults people here and there, or not insults, but like takes jabs at them. So it's like kind of amplifying all those feelings while also not being one-to-one with his character. Now, this is probably one of the biggest changes to the entire script, because if you'll notice right here, there was no Narushima in the original script, and I mean no Narushima. So I had to improvise when it came to editing the actual script, because I remember realizing there's no Narushima. And I talked to Nico. He said that he wanted to kind of introduce Narushima more into season 2, but I'm like, he still feels like very important. And that's when I introduced Nico to this one video I have. And it's like an old video on my channel. It was actually one of the pitches I sent to him when I was like, hey, I could edit the video.
You know, other anime besides Naruto exist. It may
Ignore the bad voice acting. It was 2023 and I had the shitty mic.
be in the big 3, but it's at the bottom of it. You're wrong! Of course you would say that. Naruto fans are blinded by nostalgia.
Quick tip. if you're gonna kind of yell, you gotta project your voice a little more. Like, you have to learn how to raise your voice rather than being, of course you'd say that. Of all you Naruto fans are blinded by nostalgia. You know, yeah, you kind of have to like really get into it where it's like, of course you'd say that. All you Naruto fans are blinded by nostalgia. Maybe. Oh no, I'm getting copyrighted. Fuck.
Bottom of it. Naruto fans are blinded by nostalgia.
Naruto fans are blinded by nostalgia. It's probably a bit better.
I can bet that he's probably never even watched Naruto. Don't stop filming. I'm gonna tweet about this later. Actually,
but I didn't want to copy the script that I had for this, so I ended up making my own thing. And I can break down this scene more because I actually put it together.
Yeah, I heard this wannabe horror.
So, I was in a call with a friend of mine, and we were thinking, what is one thing that will always be controversial in some way, shape, or form? And music. Music is one of those things where no matter how much time will go on for, you can always find something that, you know, you disagree on with music. So it's like, we can make fun of like some sort of music, and over time I heard things like, you know, ABG hunting, and why most ABG girls listen to like Keshi or something. I actually don't even know any Keshi songs. I never knew about Keshi. So when the idea was thrown out, I had to actually listen to Keshi songs so I could give it to the voice actor of Narushima. And so it was like, how do I connect Keshi, like a playboy who listens to Keshi and ABG, versus what's an artist I want to make fun of that's like relatively popular within like anime and Japanese media and can get like kind of clowned on because I'm a fan of them, right? And that's when Lotus Juice came into mind, because I've heard people be critical of Lotus Juice's lyrics for not making sense. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this as Lotus Juice. Which, for people who don't know, because some people ask me in the comments, Lotus Juice is one of the composers for the Persona series. He made Mass Destruction one of the most popular songs in the entire franchise. And so, as someone who is a fan of his song, of like a decent amount of his songs, and knowing how Persona 3 Reload is controversial in some ways when it comes to the remixes of certain songs, like the Mass Destruction remix, I thought to myself, I could make a joke out of that. Now, before I move on, I want to kind of talk about the Narushima voice actor. Check it out. I'm in the house like carpet. I was originally going to use that, but Lotus Juice doesn't sing that song, so it doesn't work. So this is the original. No, not here. How do I view? How do I view the public page? View public page right there. All right. So this should look familiar to you, and that's because this is the Oshi no Ko Abridged casting call. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, we're going to get Miyako's, we're going to get young Rubies, so I'm kind of worried about Narushima. And somehow, some way, Narushima got the most amount of auditions, which caught me off guard. And eventually we landed on Killon.
Hey, what's cooking, good looking? Hey, what's cooking, good looking? Can we get this shit over with? I have girls waiting for me that I need to ignore.
And I just kind of thought Narushima's gonna be a bitch. That's literally it. He's literally just gonna be a bitch. So we have to get someone who can kind of sound like the pompous asshole. And what is it? This voice actor doesn't have like a lot of experience apparently, but he nailed the role, and I was very impressed with how well he was doing for someone who apparently and allegedly doesn't have a lot of roles. So I don't know. And he was very good with all the directions. Like, I'd send like a voice clip over, and then he'd like kind of adapt learning all this very well. And I remember like kind of talking to him because I was like, I want to get to know the voice actor a little bit, explain what we're doing. And I did get that Discord call with him, and we like talked things over. I was like, okay, so this is like the basic breakdown of what the Abridged is. This is the role you play. And yeah, from there on out, I got his lines, and he did an amazing job.
Me, a character listening to Keshi.
But my jaw hit
With
the
a shit-
floor with the 1-2. I don't even know that song. I just know that one section.
Music taste. Well, I do a little bit of HVA. So, I heard you listen to Keshi. How about instead of ABG hunting, you listen to a real artist like Lotus Juice?
What the fuck?
Got him. You don't understand the lyrical genius.
Honestly, for that little scene, I kind of got inspired by that one thing in Blue Lock in the dub where, what is it? Isagi's like, no, he's gonna beat me. And then it just cuts to him saying, got him.
Genius of Lotus Juice. Like that one time he said 56 times in a single song. Isn't that
Like that one.
the Friday Night Funkin' guy? No, you dumbass. That's the Persona guy. Now turn up the lights. I'm clipping that.
Yeah, I didn't feel like kind of redoing, or like at the time when I was rushing and putting all this together, I was like, I don't know if I want to like cast extras just for this scene, and I wasn't sure if this project was gonna do well because this was again one of the first scenes that was done. So I was just like, I'll just voice this, and that's what happened with some of the male characters, which is why I end up voicing a lot of the extras because I'm like, okay, I can do this, and it's like I don't want to stress over having to give someone deadlines for a project that they're not going to get a lot of time to like shine in. That could be a controversial decision, but I just thought it would be easier for me to kind of do it.
So what if I listen to Keshi for the ABG girls? At least Keshi doesn't rap about roses growing in a concrete jungle.
Wait, isn't that from the Persona 4 dancing game?
Is he a closeted Persona fan?
I would never listen to that nerd shit. Take that!
Oh, I'm falling down now. You wouldn't understand, Lotus.
Honestly, I'm kind of proud of that. Kind of. Hold up, let me.
Kill yourself! You Naruto.
Yeah. I would say that like kind of going back and seeing my old voice acting and comparing it to now it makes me feel a bit proud because in all honesty, if I can be real, taking on like the main character role in this, I've always wanted to voice act Aqua in some way, shape, or form. So being able to do this is like a big deal for me. And I won't lie, being surrounded by like all these talented voice actors, it makes me feel like worried about voice acting and like, am I even doing a good job? You know, am I holding back the project by casting myself? And seeing the improvement throughout the years, like, I obviously don't think I'm like the best one to cast, right? Like, because I'm not thinking about who's the best, but kind of being able to prove myself as worthy of being in the cast is something that gives me a lot of validation and excitement to do voice acting for a character that I love so deeply. And so, you know, even something as simple as the laugh being better.
Oh. You wouldn't understand Lotus Juice and his otherworldly bars that show off his erudition. Oh, pulled out the dictionary for that one. Now watch. I'm gonna bless your ears with this masterpiece.
I guess the script is just non-existent.
Oh my god, she's crying from molasses! There's something so hot about making a real girl cry.
You
Improvised line, by the way. Check out your post real quick. I guess I could. Is this gonna be me as Aqua or something? Oh. What the fuck? This kind of looks like that one girl from the 3rd season. But yeah, that was basically everything I added to that scene.
You are fucking brilliant out there, baby.
After further investigation, I can confirm that we're in no way related, which means that I increased my crippling debt. But I can still use him.
You're in Strawberry Productions, right? Your face. It reminds me a lot of that fucking girl. What's that fucking girl's name? Oh, right, baby. It was, I.
Oh, what a weird coinkydink.
I assume you're a fan of
What a
hers,
weird
right, baby?
coinkydink.
You could say that.
Is that so?
Yes, I'd like to know as much about her as possible.
Oh?
Yeah, because I'm a huge fan and all.
Actually, if you guys are curious on how I personally record things, because I guess now that a lot of this is just mainly me talking and nothing too new, let me see if I can find it, because I did recently send it to someone. And it is not letting me pull up the fucking mic. Okay. So the mic I personally use is the Mono PD200XS. It was actually a recommendation I got in a voice acting server I'm in, called Tide and Tone. One of the like moderators there recommended this specific mic, and it's actually very good at suppressing the noise. Like even now with the recording, sure there's like obviously some settings I have on OBS to like try and get rid of like noise, but I have a heater running in the background and you can't even hear it. Like at least from when the times I do recordings, you can't hear it. So I do really like this mic, and it wasn't the mic that I was using originally when I first started this, so I had to re-record a good chunk of my old lines again, which it works so well because I'm able to like, what is it? Hold on, let me show you guys through like DaVinci. All right. Display capture. Oh. Because, like, honestly, what I used to do is I used to go into, like, this thing called Audacity, and I used to record lines from there. But then, like, eventually, once I got this new mic, there was honestly no need, because a lot of my mic quality sounded fine. So, what I do here when I record, I would go to... Hold on, let me mute this real quick. Mute the track. And then I would select it to audio 2, which is gonna put it on this track right here, and then I would just simply record. "14 years later, I still have no idea what I was trying to say, but there is one thing I do agree with her on. Snitches get stitches." Keep in mind, I still have a heater in the background. Obviously, if you want to make some fine adjustments, that's up to you. This is a method that's worked pretty well for me. Like, if I put it all the way up to, like, 30, you can start to kind of hear the heater in the background. At least that's what I assume is the heater. But yeah, like 4... So there's that.
Don't look me in my
Oh, did not mean to close the window.
eyes.
I can tell you some facts you didn't know, but you're gonna have to take that pretty face to my reality show.
No, anything but. Hey guys, I've come to hunt myself a hot ABG.
So, I don't think we're gonna sell too well as a one-girl idol group.
Well, that much is obvious. We'll have to do some scouting.
I got a freelancer in mind, and I bet you $5 I could recruit her within one scene.
Yeah, so what am I doing here again? I've got a busy schedule, and you've got about 20 seconds before I leave.
Please be united with my sister.
Excuse me?
Let's face it, Kana. You've got a cute face, a pretty waist, and dreams that are ultimately leading to doom. You're just like Ruby.
I'm hoping only the last one applied to your sister.
Kana, please.
No!
I'm begging you.
No!
Say no if you agree.
No! Consent is a myth.
Later, I have to go through more child labor.
Fun fact, did you know that brain surgery is actually easier than being a Twitch streamer?
Did you just compare your Twitch channel to brain
and this is where
surgery?
You wouldn't
Yoda.
believe the
God,
hassle
I'm
it takes
talking
to
to
be
an
me.
idiot.
Streaming is like
trying to just go
24/7
by,
grind.
but
You think
talking to
CEOs are
her makes me
stressed?
want to jam a fork in
Trying
an
to maintain
outlet.
a cute aesthetic while dodging trolls
I
and
wonder if
elevating
Kana
your
and
own
Ruby are
clips.
at least getting along.
Hey there, girls!
So yeah. As you can tell, I do the peon voice. I don't even know how to explain it. What I do when I like make that voice is I go like I kind of like clench my throat a bit, like I hold my breath, and then oh fuck, I have a hard time doing it on the spot. Hey there, girls. I kind of like squeeze my throat a bit, and I have to kind of like yell very loudly to get the voice to come out instead of just like, it coming naturally. One day I was just in a car and I was experimenting with my voice. And I thought, how high can I make it go? And this was the answer, I guess. And yeah. It kind of works because later on, Aqua does end up, like, impersonating Peon. But that was part 5 of the Abridged. Now let's actually go to YouTube Studio, because this is going to be a two-parter. And actually, I guess before we start this, I could talk about the Memcho voice actor. So I have to admit it was tricky to get a Memcho voice actor due to personal reasons. The old Memcho voice actor that I had originally casted could not do it, and so that led to late December, I didn't have a voice actor for Memcho, and the Abridged trailer was coming out in 2 weeks. So with that, I was in a call with the Akane voice actor, and we were just kind of discussing like, oh, what do I do with trying to cast a voice actor for Memcho. And I asked them like, hey, do you think you could make a casting call for me? And they said sure. And that led to me creating, or not, that led to her doing me the favor of creating the Memcho casting call. Let me do Mem. Cho. Fuck. I need to find it. Actually, maybe I'll be able to find it if I search up. Speckle VA. Yeah, that's her. No. Did she not? Lights, camera, action. Because the project, they show up when you like if I do my submissions, then like projects created for. Yeah, she did make it. There we go. Did I? Oh, it's just her name. Well, she needs to update that, I guess. Well, yeah, Alina. She made this for me, and we were looking for voice actors, and immediately when I heard Yona's voice...
OMG, is this the start of my idol girl era? Fun fact, did you know running a Twitch channel is harder than brain surgery?
So, the crazy thing about this was that according to Yona, because I'd been talking to her and we'd gotten to know each other very recently, she told me that she was just going around casting Call Club. She doesn't really care for the UI that much, and she happened to run into the project. The interesting thing about Yona is that she has 6 submissions on this website, and the one before Memcho came out in September. In fact, basically all of her auditions came from that one session she had auditioning for other things, and Memcho just happened to be one that she stumbled across. So because of that, when I tried reaching out to her, Casting Call has this interesting thing where if you click on someone's profile and you click on Discord, it'll copy and paste their Discord ID. Yona's is not updated, and when I tried searching it, I couldn't find it, and she never went on Casting Call Club. So I was worried, to say the least. And so I had to search all over. And when I put in her username to like Yona, oh, she updated it. She fixed it. She fixed it now. Okay, I see how it is, Yona. She fixed it. Before it was just Yona, and it didn't work. So I had to go around everywhere. I friended multiple people whose names were actually Yona. I think I did like Yona TikTok or something like that. Or like, I forgot what I did. Voice actor or something like that. I found it, like her old Genshin thing. And I contacted some of like the people on the project like, hey, I know I'm gonna sound like a crazy person, but do you think that like I could oh no, this is what it was. I think I copy and pasted this. Yeah, this was it. I found this. And I contacted the people of the old project she was a part of, like, hey, I know I'm gonna sound like a crazy person when I ask this, but, do you happen to still talk to Yona by any chance, or can I get in contact with her? And nothing. So for about a week or so, I didn't hear anything whatsoever from Yona. And to say the least, it scared the crap out of me. I was scrambling for a Memcho VA all over the place. It led to me actually, like, honestly, now that I'm looking back on it, it was only like less than a week, and somehow that week of my life felt like forever. I don't know, because, like, I ended up posting about it. Right. Oh my god, I started being so active on TikTok. So yeah.
Voice actors and fans of Oshinoko, hold on. So here's the thing, I've been making an Oshinoko Abridged for the last couple of months now. We're getting to the point where the editing is being done for the final draft, and we have one issue. We need a new Memcho voice actor. Now, if you're interested in auditioning, here are the 3 lines. You can go on Casting Call Club and submit your audition, but you can also stitch it from this video. Now here's the reference for the Japanese.
ファンのメムチョです。YouTube で配信してます。よろしくね。
And the English.
You two might start dating for real in time, but I saw how you blushed when Akane was pretending to be I.
If you're interested, I hope that you'll consider auditioning, and if you know someone.
So yeah, that led to this casting call. At the end of the day, I'm glad we found Yona. And it actually even led to me finding Moriko, who does the background characters for the female, like all the female background voices. So overall, this was a success. Also, yeah, Elena is kind of a tryhard when it comes to her casting call clubs, which works out in my favor because I wouldn't have given this much. Like, if you compare the notes of everything she added for the casting call club, like all this description and actually presenting a link to references, you know, studious person, versus my shit. Yeah. Not the most impressive, but it worked, okay? I got my voice actors and she got the one voice actor, so. So with all that out of the way, speaking of Elena, we can get to
But not only my time, but money just for this
episode
girl to look
6.
like a bot!
But sir, how can I do the best you can?
Not doing my best, and I'm taking my frustration on you!
Why are you yelling, sir?
Oh, you're gonna be yelling when I...
Okay. So little bit of a way to start off an episode. Same issue as before with the boss. I was in a call with one of my friends, different friend than the one who helped me with the Narashima skit. He was like, "You should make him do the Mickey Mouse voice." And I was like, "Okay." I don't think I can do that. And so it led to me just like, what would be like a very unserious way? I was like, what if I do like Toad or something?
My frustration on you!
Why are you yelling, sir?
Oh, you're gonna be yelling when I... Thank you!
It was very difficult to find clapping sound effects, but I did.
Until you're finished!
Akane, you didn't hear all that, did you?
Yeah, you like that?
No, my ass hurts!
I've got to do something about this for the sake of the manager's manhood.
Now, I'm going to say this right now. I think out of everyone in the Abridged, Akane probably had the most amount of line changes. And the reason for that was, when I considered changing people's lines, originally when I was only the Aqua VA, I was willing to do it because I was voicing them, right? Same thing goes with like background voice actors. So what I took into consideration was how much do I want to change the lines? And it was based off how much can I rely on other people to do this. And when I was still in the newer phases and I didn't like have contact to like the Kana VA, I didn't want to change people's lines and force them to like redo it because they already recorded back in February, you know? So I didn't want to be like making people do all of this again because the script is like 20 pages long and some people had more lines than others. So because I'm still like very good friends with the Akane VA Elena, we were able to, I knew that I could like rely on her to like do, not saying that the other voice actors are unreliable. I'm just saying that like I knew with like 100% certainty because I had actively talked to her that I could ask her to like change more lines. And so it resulted in me kind of going over a lot of Akane's lines because she had a lot of exposition, right? And I was like, I feel like some of these jokes, like something needs to change about this character. You know, we need to give her some distinct personality in the Abridged. And that's why like I ended up changing all of this. Because originally it starts off with like this whole thing of her in like the bed reacting to like all the social media posts, and I was like, what if we just start off with this scene right here? And I actually don't know if I included it in the original script. Maybe I cut it. Oh yeah, I just ended up changing it. So yeah, I did swap the order as well of this scene. It was it was kind of difficult to actually find the placing and get it correct so it could like work very well, but yeah. I think that I got the flow to kind of match more. Oh, yeah. Another thing was with this section, I just didn't really like the way it flowed between Jesus Christ, there's something I got to do about this to then hands off my man, bitch.
Akane.
So I ended up making
Who's
this
that again?
transition.
Can we replace her with another guy
where
on the
it's
show?
kind of like it's similar to the show where it just kind of like talks about Akane and how they don't like her. So I was like, what if we exaggerate that?
For the girls?
I died second in the story.
And so like what I told some of the voice actors was, hey, since you're already done with like your section of the lines, would you mind improvising some new lines for your characters to say towards Akane? So, you know, I think that like CMD ended up improvising, but for like I obviously thought that like, oh, like halfway through I was like, it's kind of messed up for me to try and make people think of something. So I ended up for Kat, I ended up saying like, oh, can we replace her with Zoro? And for Kilnon, I ended up saying, I want you to say, can you make a specific line where you say like, you know, can we change it so that there's more guys for the girls?
But at least I'm more relevant than Akane.
Can we just replace her with Zoro?
It's a good thing Akane's a vegetarian because no man would ever want to show her his meat. Is that my own voice actor? No.
And when I was talking with Elena trying to think of a joke to transition, I don't know where some of these jokes come from. They just like pop into my head, and I don't know why, just like out of nowhere I remembered that Akane is a vegetarian. So I was like, innuendo.
I refuse to fade into obscurity. Hands off my man, bitch! Oh.
The Akane voice actress seems pretty cool. I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, shit. I can't believe that one. Oh, shit.
Hold on, let me actually. I low-key ripped this from Canva. Where did it go? So like Canva has like some presets, and I took like this newspaper format, and I tried to like fill it up as much as I could, and so I ended up just deciding one thing I could do to fill up this spot is talk about my feelings on Akane. So when the episode comes out, if you guys want to like, you know, give that section a read, be my guest.
I can't believe that one ugly photo got out. At this rate, I'll be as relevant as Kengo Monomoto. I can't believe I lost to someone who doesn't show up in the opening. I'm sorry, manager, but I'm sure you'll learn to love the pain.
Oh no, you don't! I do have to say, out of all the characters in this Abridged, I would say Akane is probably my favorite so far. Like, I had so much fun writing a lot of the jokes for Akane, because it felt like a lot of her lines kind of felt like they fit that perfect area of being an exaggeration of her character archetype, but it's obviously not serious. Like, I feel like even going into like future parts, there's so much room for her character to kind of shine more, and it kind of makes me exciting. So it's actually pretty ironic that Akane is my favorite character in the Abridged so far, but like when I think of future jokes, I think, oh, I know what I want Akane to be, and I think it's very fun. Also, because I'm gonna make her like a huge theater kid, and I'm gonna be making fun of her so for being a theater kid, and it's gonna be fun.
No! I refuse to be saved by a man!
Shut up! Memcho is right. I do miss brain surgery.
Another line I improvised. You dumb whore! Memcho's right. I do miss brain surgery. I wish I had like the earlier version of this before Nico changed it.
I guess now that I saved her, I should fix everything.
So you want the raw foot?
Yeah. I kind of made that line up on the spot to kind of transition better between like the two scenes, because I thought it was a little awkward to just kind of do like, oh, Memcho's right, I do miss brain surgery, and then kind of just cut to Aqua talking about the cameraman. So this is like another example of, oh, I want something to transition a lot better. So that was me kind of like improvising the line. That's why I'm kind of glad that I was able to do a lot with Aqua and kind of improvise a lot of new lines, because that meant that on the spot, I could just like make it up myself instead of, oh, I need to like write the new version and constantly text the possible Aqua VA over and over and over again, because I ended up changing a lot.
But it should have been a better picture of Akane, huh? Well, I could give it to you, but I can't. Like, if you had the right amount of money.
Hey, isn't this your alt posting furry, Futa?
Check your email for the footage.
So, the funniest thing about this is that when I first contacted CMD about like lines for like Goro, I realized that he was also like the cameraman. And so I had asked him, I was like, so out of curiosity, how come you ended up doing a British accent at the end? Like, what was your thought process when it came to that? And he was like, did I do a British accent before? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I must have forgotten because it's been a year. And then I realized something. I was like, wait a second. You said, I was like, wait. Because I had also contacted him to do like a quick line in one of my seasonal anime videos. And he was like, oh, sorry. It's like 3 p.m. for me right now. I was like, 3 p.m.? That's like 8 hours ahead. I was like, are you British? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I never knew that about you. And so, like, seeing him, like, kind of have that and finding out that was his natural accent. All right. Later, Ivy. It was surprising, to say the least. Because I never noticed up until this point when it, like, just leaked out. And I was like, okay. So little fun fact, the Gore OVA is British, I guess.
Akane's not a bitch and boring. She's just boring.
When I saved Akane's life, she told me about her manager whose manhood had been taken away from him.
There was something about his hardship that struck a chord with my heart, so I wanted to help him. And so, we thought the best way to save him would be to achieve the impossible, making Akane an interesting character.
Akane, now that I fixed everything, it's time for you to stop being yourself because, the real you sucks.
So you're saying that if I do something interesting, people will like me? I hope Akasaka remembers that. If I nail this performance, then I won't have to buy a wheelchair for the manager.
Yeah, that's really noble and all. Anyway, Aqua!
What's your type?
Well, if you must know.
Hot dog! I have this stalking thing on lock. At this rate, I'll actually get more screen time.
Ooh, Hamilton in High School Musical. I know theater kids eat that up, right? Right, guys? We all fuck with High School Musical and maybe Hamilton, but we all fuck with High School Musical.
And then a random black-haired background character.
I would say if I had time to change one thing about the Abridged, I would say that... Oh my gosh, I just realized we have 2 people. Okay, hold up. Give me a second. I have to think about how I'm going to phrase this, because I just realized something. Okay. So if there was one thing I would personally change about the Abridged or do something, I wish I developed Yuki more as a character the same way I did with like adding a Narushima scene in, because I realized that within the whole like reality TV show arc, Yuki was a pretty important character, and to kind of shit on Akane for being irrelevant, it kind of like didn't make sense. I mean, obviously, it's gonna be like hard to criticize an Abridged for like not making sense to the source material when it's like a parody of it. But I felt like Anicia she's like a very good voice actor, and with Ruby, I already cut a decent amount of her lines, and she was Yuki and only had 1 line, so I wish that I gave her more screen time. But at the same time, I wanted this project to come out mid-February, because like already it's going to be cutting it close to the deadline with the final episode. I won't lie with you. Like, I'm in the editing stages of the final episode, and I don't even have a thumbnail for it. So I genuinely just did not have time to write an entirely new section, have Anicia voice act over it, and even, like, write a whole new storyline and, like, fitting it all. It was just too much, and it is a shame because I do wish that I gave Yuki more screen time, but... You know, what can you do?
What?
What's the matter, Aqua? You look like you just saw a ghost.
Kiss me.
Sure. Who knew not being myself was so effective? So, you weren't using me for my body?
No. Last time I checked, your hair wasn't red. We can date, but I like someone else.
Hot.
And at this point, I'm just using you.
Hotter.
Oh, and I have daddy issues.
I can fix him!
All right, let's go to DaVinci Resolve. First, I need to find out where I put those. Oh, nope, they're right here. Let me capture display. Oh, right, I have to turn off this. So how I did this was ignore the fact that the footage is of the wrong episode, and I'll get into that like a future stream or maybe later after this. But basically what I had to do was cut around Akane's hair, and it's like the normal cutting thing that I do for the other scenes. And then I had to take this. What I did was, first off, I go to this thing right here where I just cut around the entire edge of her hair. And then I'd go to this color thing right here, and I would change like the red input. Like, this is how her hair normally looks. But then I just like dialed the red up to match it. And to make it pop, I would just kind of cut out every other frame. So it would end up looking like that. Yeah. But it... Oh, right, this. I forgot to mention, but for that one scene with Aqua, talking about, like, brain surgery, it was deceptively hard. Because if you go to, like, Oshi no Ko, right? Where is it? Episode 5. Right here. No, a little further back.
And here's my dog. Look at him. Pretty cute, right? Take a good look.
Yeah, he's such a cutie.
That does not match up. It does not link up. So I had to like pause everything. And if you only show, if I disable this track, you'll notice that his mouth is floating because I had to like crop it so it was like moving all the time. Obviously this isn't the original one because the old footage got corrupt. Again, I might explain it in a bit, but so I had to put Yona's voice over it and then did you just compare Twitch streaming to brain surgery? Or fuck, what was... And, yeah. Nah, not... It was a lot harder because I didn't realize that at the time I could use that cutting technique that I normally do. But, you know... It worked for what it was. And honestly, I was going to just leave the... Because the final part's actually going to be pretty short from what I remember. I'm not screen sharing everything, right? The final part. Because from what I have edited so far, the... Oh, wow, it is actually a lot shorter. The final part does not look like it's going to be longer than... It's going to barely reach the 2-minute mark. And that's where I was like, I wanted to combine this episode with the final episode. But, like... I just couldn't find a way to transition this into like the next episode, and I wanted to give more time to myself to figure everything out instead of just rushing it. Because if I didn't if I was gonna combine the two parts, I was kind of screwed. I would have been screwed. Because okay, I guess I'll just get to it. When I was trying to do a certain edit, there was something that happened, and I talked about it a little bit. Hold on, let me fix this. But if I go to my projects in DaVinci Resolve and I boot up this, I think it's this one, you're going to notice that if I go up to the first timeline in which I edited all the Oshinoko stuff, I don't, this isn't even correct. Timeline 1. If I do backup, deleted backups, timeline 1, restore. You'll see that everything I've edited is offline, and I can't fix that. It's been just kind of screwed, and so that's why I haven't been like using DaVinci as much. It did sting a lot when it happened, so the only thing I can implore DaVinci Resolve editors is that if you go to preferences and you go to media settings and you go to users, save, and load project, you have to select project backups. And I, unfortunately, for some reason, didn't have this checked. So it's gone. Everything within this is gone. I had to re-edit everything in the final part. And I'm lucky. I should be lucky. Because if I hadn't like decided to separate these episodes, this would all be gone. Like, all of this would have been gone. And I honestly don't know if I would have had the motivation to finish it. Because it was a lot of work. I will not lie with you. And I did not remember all the edits, and I improvised certain lines. So the fact that it's even here, I'm honestly just thankful for that. And so not only did separating the parts buy me more time, but it essentially saved the project. I'm going to put it bluntly, it saved the project, because I don't know if I would have been motivated to do all this. But that being said, we push forward, and thank you to Elena for obviously helping me out through like the more difficult sections of like the Abridged, because the Memcho thing was a difficult thing to go through, and having to change so many lines for Akane and her just being very understanding, because she had already recorded the lines, so her like going through the trouble is something I'm so grateful for. And I probably asked, out of like all the voice actors, she's probably the person I asked the most out of, and I'm just thankful that I was able to rely on her. And she did an amazing job with Akane in the Abridged, and I'm so glad that you guys get to hear her alongside all the other voice actors and actresses to, you know, put together the Abridged. And one more thing I want to build on, because I forgot to talk about it, was where did I put it? Here we go. The way I got the Akane thing to line up, or like that little effect that goes around her, I went to effects here, and I have it favorited, but if you go to like, where is it? And let's see, effects. Is it? Nope, not here. Open effects. Yeah, if you go to Open Effects on DaVinci Resolve, you'll find this right here. And if you apply it to like here, it'll give you like this little black edge. So I surrounded it with the pink thing, and I just kind of did a slight thing. Because this was supposed to be like Akane the moment she fell in love. So I wanted to get it to match that, and I chose like this pink color right here. And for the background song, I ended up choosing that one scene where you meet on Takamaki in Persona 5. You know, because, you know, it came to my mind. But it worked very well for the setting. Hey, man. The only reason I'm doing it is because she's not here to hear it, and giving her flowers, you know. So yes, there it is. Besides the final part, which probably won't talk about till later on, but it'll be a simple part to knock out. This is like a 2-for-1 deal. I don't feel like editing the episode 5 and episode 6 behind the scenes. Honestly, I know this is like a short stream, but I think I might just end it here because I was only going to talk about I don't know. I'll probably go a little more talking about the Oshinoko Abridged. I don't know. Because I kind of tackled everything I planned to this stream. I don't know if there's anything else for me to do besides just talk about that. But yeah. I'll probably just end stream here. It was or will I? I don't know, because now I'm seeing a lot of people join. I've never seen my viewer count go this high for streaming, which is why I'm like on the fence on whether or not I want to end it. If I do, then it's gonna be an Oshinoko stream. That's the bottom line. It's gonna be an Oshinoko stream. Because I guess I just haven't talked about Oshinoko in a hot sec. Maybe. Okay, no. Yeah, no. Before it gets out of hand, I'm just gonna end it here. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my deep dive into Oshinoko Abridged. And I hope that you guys are ready for the season finale, the final part of season 1, coming on the, what is it, the 25th? Yes. All right. And I'll see you guys next time.